Zupyod's John Master Lee.
And Lulu!
We just got back from watching Wreck-It Ralph
2.
So here's our reaction. And when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was absolutely fascinated. This whole movie is about breaking beyond games and going into the internet collective, which I think a lot more people can relate to, so I think it actually would be a lot more interesting to a lot more people.
That's right, just like me. Very fun and inspirational movie. It is current and so relatable. Like, you know, the YouTube and getting famous and how you make money, being very creative in so many ways. So this movie is just a mixture of fantasy. Awesome.
I can't imagine how difficult it must have been to create a story like this that interwoven so much of today's like esoteric concepts about the internet. It basically turned the internet into a world that I wanted to like explore. Like the minute they got to that scene, you could see the whole world. I felt like I want to live there. I would rather live there than here. I felt like Penelope basically going like, this is where I belong. And that's like, that's the world. That's where I belong.
That racing part with Shank, oh my god, it's so amazing. And you know who's Shank, right? Right? It's Gal, Wonder Woman. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. The whole time I was imagining it like
it was you driving? Yes. That's how you drive in real life. You don't need a movie or special effects. That's why I can't even ride with you anymore, because I feel like I gotta pray to God this isn't gonna turn Fast or Furious. That you don't drive like Shank every day. That I'm holding on dear for life. That you don't decide to do a side trip into a backward spin and jumping off a cliff.
That was awesome.
No wonder you love that scene.
Love that scene.
The Disney princesses. Really interesting concept. Usually they're all in their own separate movies. The first time you ever see them like in one movie, and it's such a fun parody. Like they make fun of each of the Disney princesses in their own way that you could totally relate to if you've seen these movies before. One part of the movie I feel like they kind of just missed because they were so focused on this new story was all the characters from the first movie really had just bit parts this time around. I didn't get why like Felix was suddenly married. They didn't really go into that whole scene. It didn't feel believable. And the fact that they adopted these kids, like, it didn't get it. It just felt like a one-off joke that didn't go deep enough. I felt like that could have been a whole chunk of the movie that would have been real funny to see.
That I agree. I was shocked. I'm like, wait, are they married? Like, what happened?
You really didn't buy into it. They didn't even act like it. They didn't really act like parents. I mean, that whole scene and that whole setup was just... They could have just done without it, I think, rather than even like touch upon it that way. Yeah, I feel like, you know, they could have done more to like pull them in as sort of backup characters as they explore the internet. They could have just gone on the venture with them. That would have been fun. I thought that would have been cool, right? To have like Felix, the whole gang goes across the internet. That was part of their journey to explore.
Maybe that's going to be on a third movie.
Maybe. Although if you think about the ending for this movie, it really wasn't one of those like happy ending tales. It really is about like, how do you move on as a person, as people go on and live their different lives, and how friendships change. And while that's a beautiful thing, the reality is, it was kind of it was like a sad moment. Like he just had acknowledged, like, you know what, like his life will change now, that their relationship will change. And, you know, as your friends, I want to say they grow apart, but like their interests are different. And you have to let friends be friends and go and pursue their dreams. And that was touching. Are you crying?
I am crying.
I have to admit, I did cry at that scene too. It was touching. They need to take this movie world and turn it to an ongoing series. I would just subscribe to Disney's Netflix competitor. Subscribe, like.
Send us some hearts.
He's sending them some hearts.
Send it.
In the end, I felt like the movie was worthy, despite the one-off pun and from left field sort of like references to like a million different things. But overall, this movie is absolutely worthy. It's like the movie of our internet generation. This is what the Emoji Movie could have been if people actually made a good movie. So don't go watch that one. Watch Wreck-It Ralph. And have a good time. You're gonna have a great time.